Well, welcome back to Saturday Report. I'm Carl Higby. There aren't a lot of well-known stories about black lawmen in the Wild West, but they definitely helped lay down the law. Hollywood star Isaiah Washington just finished directing a film based on a prominent lawman, Bass Reeves. I spoke to him earlier this week. Check it out. Oh, I appreciate you coming on. So tell us a little bit about the story of Bass Reeves.
Oh, wow. We don't have enough time to get into his 32-year-long career, but I can tell you that where we pick up is in 1894. He was about 56 years old. We'll find him in Corsicana, just when Corsicana, Texas had just discovered oil. He's tracking some really bad men, 5 outlaws that he'd been tracking for a few years that have been killing and terrorizing the homesteaders across Texas. He finds himself and partners up with another fictional character, Sam Tanner, played by the wonderful Jason Johnson, the pro knife thrower. And they go on this incredible chase. What I did with the story that I actually did some rewrites is that we set it up more like Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, that this outlaw is a different kind of outlaw you'll see in the Western. He's more of a serial killer, but he enjoys his kills and enjoys the fact that someone like Bass Reeves is chasing him and leaving him tarot cards, giving him some signs to say, if you dare catch me, then you're going to meet your death, which is ironically historically accurate because Bass Reeves arrested 3,000 bad people who didn't want to be found and didn't want to be arrested. No one has been able to break that record as a U.S. Marshal since, and he killed over 14 men in self-defense. So we pretty much, the movie really picks up and gives it like a open door that hopefully we can move forward and tell more of his 32-year career, his history in a television series. I'm very excited about it.
It sounds fantastic. It's actually an interesting story. You know, on a more personal note, when I saw you followed me on Twitter, for the folks watching, that's how we actually connected. I was like, dude, this is the guy. Like, so between you and I and who's ever watching, I actually did like the show Grey's Anatomy for the first few seasons. We're on it. And sorry to admit that actually I did enjoy that show, but no, I was like, it was very cool to connect with you.
I did too. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, no. So it was very cool to connect with you, and then I was like, wow, this guy's big time conservative in Hollywood. I see your shirt there when we were getting set up. It says socialism distancing. Is that right?
Oh, I thought we cropped that out.
Well, I saw one there before they got you. No, so tell us a little bit about being a conservative in Hollywood. We talked to a lot of folks about this stuff, and I want to hear kind of your story and where it's gone, because you would think the woke culture would say, well, we should be all inclusive of everybody, and that's not always the case with conservatives.
That's a good question, Craig. Well, actually, since I supported President Trump in the historic First Step Act back in April of 2019, seems like 5 years ago, with everything that's been coming at me since I went to the White House as a so-called black man, doing something good to release many underprivileged people that have made mistakes and just looking for a second chance. The first time offense doing 20, 30, 40 years for selling a dime bag, survival crimes as we call them. And after that, when I really saw the press coming attacking me again for a narrative for something that I actually didn't do, I started looking at myself that it looks like President Trump and I are two wolves on different paths. And as a citizen, as a veteran, as a human being, I just thought that it was wrong for the press to be doing what they were doing. I didn't see that it was being fair.
Isaiah Washington is an amazing actor and an amazing guy. We hope we have him back soon. Thanks for joining us.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.